Coming up on 8:35 this Sunday, Governor Charlie Baker sitting down for this morning's Keller at Large.
Here's John Keller.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us. Fresh off his nomination at the Republican State Convention for another four-year term, our guest this morning, always great to have, the Governor of the Commonwealth, Charlie Baker. Welcome, Governor.
How are you, John?
I'm hanging in there. Yourself?
Good. I'm doing fine.
When a fringe candidate with a history of extreme homophobic remarks gets 27% of the vote on a gubernatorial ballot at the Republican State Convention, and when the majority of your party enthusiastically supports a president that who you've directly criticized on personal and policy grounds, does that show that the state GOP has a cultural problem too?
Well, first of all, I got 70% of the vote at the convention, which I was honored and grateful to receive. And I think that was a statement that was made by 7 out of 10 delegates at that convention, that our approach to governing, which is admittedly bipartisan and collaborative, was something they would like to see continue here in Massachusetts. I can't get inside the heads of why the other folks chose to support a gentleman who has views on a lot of things that don't belong anywhere in public life or even any life. But what I will say is I think the edges of both parties have a very hard time with the whole notion of collaboration and cooperation, even though anybody who's ever spent any time studying the way our government was founded and set up in the first place, it was designed to be complicated to get things accomplished. The people who put together our Constitution wanted it to be difficult for people to do the work. They didn't want one side or the other to have unilateral authority to make decisions. And I appreciate the fact that in this particular case, 7 out of the 10 delegates who were there like the way we do this.
So is it incumbent on people like you to ignore the fringes of the parties?
I don't think it's an issue of ignoring them or not ignoring them. I think it's an issue of speaking your piece and making your case and modeling the behavior that you believe is the most appropriate to actually do the work of representing all of the people of your district, of your commonwealth, or whatever you might be serving.
Because a lot of these people told reporters they were trying to send you a message. Do you hear their message, and what's your message back?
I said, look, I know many. A bunch of those people I actually know, and I've worked with or sort of dealt with in the context of local politics for a long time. And my message to them would be, there are many things on which we agree, and I spoke to this at the convention. The Democrats for the most part want to raise taxes. We don't. We believe in reform, even if it means taking on special interests on Beacon Hill. Many times the other side doesn't. But I'd be kidding if I said I don't have disagreements with people on stuff. I do. But I've always said all along in politics, I think a big part of the job is about being tough on the issues and soft on the people.
All right, well, you mentioned taxes. Let's talk about taxes. If the SJC clears the proposed 4% surtax on incomes of over $1 million for the November ballot, that's the so-called millionaire's tax, are you prepared to campaign against it?
Let's see what the SJC does, and we can have a conversation after that. I think that one is pending before the SJC for some legitimate constitutional questions, and we'll see what happens with it, and then we'll decide what we do about it.
So you don't know if you're going to campaign against it or not?
It's not on the ballot yet. We'll have plenty of time, John, to talk about it.
I mean,
it is, the ballot,
sir, so. It is May.
Yeah.
The decision could come down at any moment. Surely you've thought about this. Is there some reason why you don't want to share your thinking?
It's not ripe yet. At some point it will be. And when it is, we can talk about it.
And we'll continue our conversation in a moment with Governor Charlie Baker. So please stay with us.